Today on Vegan Freak Radio, fine omnivorous wines, voicemails galore, all this and more on podcast number 76 for July 10th, 2007.
Coming to you from high atop their elite fortress of moral superiority, here are your protein-deficient hosts, Bob and Jenna.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bob.
And Jenna.
And we're coming at you after a series of thunderstorms blew through the area, after we tried to record the show yesterday.
Yes, Mother Nature did not want us to record the show earlier.
Today, and yesterday we recorded the show. We're 45 minutes in, we're like, this sucks.
Yeah, just weren't feeling it.
We weren't getting our groove on.
No, we weren't. But today we have caffeine. That usually helps. Caffeine's a good thing.
Indeed it does. I just found this thing on the floor. I was like, what is this?
Ew, what is that?
It's a piece of cardboard that Emmy has chewed up into a little ball.
It's gross.
It's really wet. It's
Ew.
squishy. I wish it made noise. I could put it in the microphone. You'll have to take my word for it. It's pretty disgusting.
Yes.
So anyway, we're back again for another week. Before we get started with the show, we both want to say thank you very, very much for the tremendous turnout that we've had to get those votes out at Podcast Alley. We are number 7 last time I checked.
Yes, we finally made it to the top 10. Which
is something we've never done before.
I know, we're staying in the top 10, so thank you so much for all your votes.
Our listeners are the best.
They are.
You deserve it. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back if you voted for us. If you didn't, well then don't. We appreciate it very much because I actually think that, when we get in the top 10 at Podcast Live, people see that and they listen to the show. People who wouldn't normally be listening to the show. And our fine audio quality sucks them in. And our witty banter and our smugness, because people say we're smug. And what else?
Of course, we're high atop our,
elite fortress
of moral superiority. So that's good too.
Yeah, right. So being morally superior helps. And no, but we do on occasion when we get in the top at Podcast Live, we get people listening to the show who wouldn't normally listen to it. And for some of them it sticks. We're not right for everybody, but we're right for some people. What is that?
Oh, it's my glasses clinking together. I have my beverage collection over here to the right.
I see. I have an empty glass over here, but not what I need. So anyway, thank you for that. We very much appreciate it. We're in the top 10, and that's important. It helps the show. It helps us, and it hopefully helps us get people go vegan. We've heard from people who have listened to the show there and never thought about veganism before, and have gone vegan because of us.
Yeah. So
shit, I just clicked a button.
Uh-oh, not good.
Okay. Oh, my wild gesticulation.
Yes. All right. So, should we get into the show?
Let's get right into the show.
Okay.
Because we got a lot to do today.
And when we were talking about fine omnivorous wines there at the top of the show, we certainly don't mean W-I-N-E.
Absolutely not.
I mean, of course, the other kind of wine.
You mean this guy?
That kind. The I'm so threatened by vegans wine.
I feel so bad for all the poor omnivores out there.
Yeah, you do. We're
God.
So threatening, oh my God.
Life is so hard for them.
It is.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Anyway.
Can I just say something else?
What?
There are times when I'm in class and students start complaining in class. And in front of a class, in front of a big lecture hall, I will start going like that, and they stop because everybody starts laughing. But the test is too hard and it needs too much. And I just go, and they stop.
Good.
Shame is very important.
Yes.
No, I don't usually shame people, but it's a joke. No one takes it seriously. But these people are whiny.
They are. And this particular wine was sent to us by Eileen in Iowa. And the article comes from something printed on the Iowa Farm Bureau website. So that should tell you something.
So it's not going to be a nice, impartial source of news, right?
Exactly.
Whenever I want to know about agriculture, I go to the Iowa Farm Bureau website.
Yeah, they're going to tell us the truth, and it's going to be partial. Yeah, impartial. Yes.
It's going to be
Of course
partial.
It's going to be partial. Anyway, and it's entitled Food for Thought in National Beef Month.
National Beef Month.
And apparently this was back in May, so we're a little behind the times, but that's okay.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. May is National Beef Month, and it's times like these that anti-meat eater headlines capture the nation's attention. Some of them tragic. And you can guess what's coming here.
Of course.
In Georgia, a couple was recently sentenced to life in prison for the 2004 starvation death of their 6-week-old boy, who was fed a diet largely consisting of soy milk and apple juice. And of course, we've talked about these in the last couple of shows, and, soy milk and apple juice is not a vegan diet for anyone.
Now, okay, can I just say something? I was in IRC in our chat room the other day talking to Middle Class Joe and a few other people, and Middle Class Joe said, look, what we need on the show is a weekly omnivore report, omnivore crimes report, the Omni murder report or something, and we can say, this week omnivores killed X number of people, omnivores commit 99.9% of murders, and, it's like, there is like not a relationship here.
No, but of course, every time a vegan commits a crime, oh my God, it has to be mentioned.
Well, actually, there could be a relationship between being an omnivore and murder, right? I mean, you could argue that some people have, Will Tuttle, for example, has argued that the vibrational energies that you consume change, you get all that negative energy in you, man. It's like, it's going to harsh your mellow, Jenna.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But,
well, at the very least, there's a link between people who directly harm animals and who commit other murders and shit like that.
That's a good point. I want to talk about that too. Can I tangent for a second?
Of course.
I had to take a long car trip a couple weeks ago to go to a funeral, and but I had 8 hours in the car by myself. So I listened to this book on tape, right? It's called The Iceman or something, Confessions of the Iceman. It's some mafia thing. It's really disgusting, actually. It's about a guy who is essentially a serial killer for the mafia. He goes around and it's a true story about this guy who would go and do hits, contract hits for the mafia. Why I was listening to this, I don't know. It was something I was able to find on the internet. So anyway, I was listening to that. But what I thought was interesting was it talks about how this guy developed into a serial killer. And the first thing is that, his father beat the hell out of him for no reason, and his father had killed his brother. And so there was a lot of violence in his life. And he felt, you okay, Em? He felt really powerless about the violence in his life. So what he would do when he was young to kind of feel powerful would be to go out and kill animals. He would find dogs and cats and kill them in the most painful ways just to hear them die.
Ew.
And to hear them suffer.
That's twisted.
Yeah, but it was his way of having control and power. Mm-hmm. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that, like people harming animals, is something that we look at as really troubling. We look at people who are able to kill animals as like, yeah, that's not cool, right? Mm-mm. And that's one of the things that'll end you in, you can end up in, a mental institution.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
For that kind of thing.
That's true. Unless you're a member of Congress.
Right, unless you're Bill Frist. or Karl Rove, of course. Uh-huh. He's not a member of Congress, but right. Karl Rove is just evil. But I guess the point I'm getting at is that, we consider this kind of harm of animals outside of the context of food consumption to be fucked up and twisted, to have no purpose.
Right.
Yet the harming of animals for food consumption, that's fine. Well,
that's okay, because we need to eat animals, and God put them here for us to eat. Don't you know that?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be against people's religion not to eat animals.
I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the omnivorous wines.
Okay. Okay, more about, we're talking about diet consisting of milk and apple juice. The couple said that they were simply adhering to the lifestyle of vegans. It begs the obvious question, what is veganism and what is their true purpose? That's a really bad sentence.
What is their true purpose?
Yeah.
Our true purpose is to eradicate animal suffering.
Mm-hmm. Some claim to live very healthy lives. Claim to live.
Claim.
Okay. And that Georgia tragedy aside, they say eschew meat. This is not the best well-written shit. Say they eschew meat for a variety of reasons, many of them because of their beliefs in animal rights. The animal rights movement is certainly capturing headlines. You've probably heard how the nation's largest livestock producer company, Smithfield Farms, is phasing out gestation stalls because animal rights advocates complained about the practice, saying pigs raised for food need more personal space. No, actually, not all animal rights advocates advocate for that.
That's true.
Because it's well first. Anyway, now a big veal producer corporation out of Pennsylvania is changing its practices because of animal activist pressure. I fear the activist movement includes folks who want to turn livestock into pets and take that pork chop off your plate for good.
That's right, we do.
Actually, not the livestock into pets part, but the other part.
But just let's think for a second. Livestock.